You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borg. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Monday, first day of July, 2024. Short week this week. 4th of July. I assume the markets are open Friday. I haven't even checked, but we'll do that at some point during the broadcast, or somebody who knows will let me know. But anyway, I hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for joining us today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. This is our second live broadcast of the trading day. We do two every trading day. Now the first one, that's our live training room. So it is reserved for members only and those who are taking their 1-week free trial. Everybody gets a free trial. Maximum of 2 per lifetime. They got to be 6 months apart. So when you take your trial, make sure you take full advantage of all the resources available. Because when you take the trial, you're not just getting into the live training room. Everything our passport holders have access to, you have access to for 5 consecutive trading days. Now, it doesn't matter what day of the week or weekend or hour of the day you sign up for the trial. You'll get 5 consecutive trading days, even when it stretches over a holiday and over a weekend. Holidays and weekends don't count against your 5-day free trial. To take the trial, go to mytradingiq.com, and at the very top of the page, there's a link that says 5-day free trial, no credit card required. Click the link, fill out the registration form. Make sure you get it right. It's an automated process. So once you hit submit, if you didn't fill it out right, we won't get it. You won't get a free trial. Nobody wins. Fill it out right, hit submit. We get it. And in most cases, same day. We will get your desktop set up, get your indicators indicating, and then the following day, which will be tomorrow, that's when your 5-day free trial begins. But again, the holiday won't count against your trial, nor will the upcoming weekend. So you'll get Tuesday, Wednesday, then Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday of next week. I think that's 5 days. Anyway, you get the idea. Now, when the live training room ends each day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, we take a 30-minute break and come back for the afternoon broadcast, this broadcast. Now, there's a couple different ways to join this broadcast live. The best way, because you only do it once, go to mytradingiq.com, scroll down to where it says afternoon broadcast. Click the link, fill out the 30-second registration form, and you're done. What will happen going forward is every trading day, about an hour before this broadcast starts, you'll get an email. In that email, there will be a link. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. The benefit of that is you'll have access to the question box, so you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Of course, there will be days when you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but you still want to join live. And there'll be days when you're busy and you can't join live, but you want to get caught up later, you can do both via our YouTube channel. Now, it's easy to remember, youtube.com/CFRN. You already have the YouTube part memorized, so you can just remember CFRN, you're good to go. So what we're doing right now actually is we're simulcasting. We're broadcasting live on our platform and on our YouTube channel at the same time, as long as I don't screw something up. So I'll do my best not to. Now, not only do we broadcast live every trading day on our YouTube channel, we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there are over 2,500 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. And I got to check because I think now there's over 2,600, but I'll let you know tomorrow. YouTube.com. Oh, if you're new to the world of CFRN, it's a great way to get to know who we really are. Not just today, not just this week, but thanks to the power of YouTube, you can scroll back 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, even more. Now, obviously, you're not going to watch them all, nor do you need to. But just pick some days at random. Watch a little bit, fast forward a little bit, jump to another month, jump to another year, watch a little bit, fast forward a little bit, watch some more. You'll get the idea. You'll discover the thread of connectivity, the thread of continuity that's woven through each and every daily episode, and our very vibrant trading community. youtube.com/CFRN. Okay, we're back to the regular schedule. Michael was out Thursday and Friday, so we'll get started with our daily devotional, word of prayer. I got some market news for you. Then we'll do a recap of the alerts, the logic alerts, the concierge trade alerts. Then about 12:45, 12:50, Michael will join us and give us a recap of what happened in the live training room this morning. And then we'll go live on the TradingView platform and do some live trading for 30 minutes from 1 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll wrap things up with our good word for the day. Now, back on Friday, we began a new devotional topic. It's a dissection, if you will, of the 23rd Psalm, which is possibly one of the most well-known scripture in the whole Bible. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Right. Now, we covered verses 1 and 2 on Friday. So if you missed that, you can go to YouTube and catch up. Today, we're going to dissect Psalm 23, verses 3 through 4, which read, starting in verse 3, He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Verse 4, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for You are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Welcome to day 2 of our brief journey through Psalm 23. We hope that the first 2 verses colored the whole of your day. We continue to explore the reality that God is our shepherd. If the best human shepherds know their sheep in and out, how much more is it true of our good shepherd? Today we'll look at how God knows us as His sheep. First, He restores us. He knows our places of exhaustion and exactly where we need rest. He knows avoidance, scrolling, and mindless distractions won't suffice. He sees into the deepest, darkest crevices of our souls and has the wisdom and insight to know how to bring about restoration. Part of this restoring is an act of God restoring our hearts around the realities of who He is and who we are in Him. As we begin to wander and believe ludicrous things about God and ourselves, comes to us and restores us by reminding us of the story we're actually in. Second, He leads us. He also doesn't leave us where He finds us, but leads us in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. This is crucial. Yes, restoration is essential, but it's just the beginning. As we find the restoration our souls need, He also finds the paths He knows we need to be on. God's not around for just part of our journey, but all of it. Why does He do it? For His name's sake. God's reputation is on the line. He wants everyone to see Him for who He actually is. Have you ever met someone who you had heard a few things about, or perhaps you didn't have a couple of great interactions with them, but when you actually spent time with them, you were surprised because of how lovely they were? God is a perfect shepherd and wants us to know Him for who He is. He is the greatest gift we could ever have in the world. Third, He accompanies us. Another way of wording this is He is a faithful companion. He doesn't let us walk through perilous times alone. He doesn't point out our final destination on a map and tells us He'll meet us there at the finish line. Instead, as a companion, we can confidently know that He'll take every step alongside us. We're told that even while David would walk through the valley of the shadow of death, he would fear no evil. Why? Not because he knew things were going to be easy. God generally doesn't simply evacuate us from our problems, but rather walks with us through them. Are you walking through a valley season? Ask your shepherd for the eyes to see His proximity to you, even though you might be experiencing His perceived absence. Fourth, He protects and disciplines us. Along the way, our shepherd has tools to aid us with his rod and staff. These are signs of both His protection and His discipline. With His rod, He fights away evil predators who may assail us. With His staff, He leads and disciplines His sheep so that we would learn to stay close to Him. The motivation of His discipline is always love, not anger. We find comfort that our shepherd's posture in all of these things is for us. He wants to see our good and flourishing. We can trust Him in all things. We'll wrap up that devotion tomorrow with the rest of the 23rd Psalm. Join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank You for restoring our souls and leading us in paths of righteousness for Your name's sake. Even though we walk through the darkest valleys, we will not fear, for You are with us. Your rod and Your staff, they comfort us. Thank You, God, for Your constant presence and guidance. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. And everybody said, amen. Amen. And happy Monday. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. I'm going to start here in the U.S. with the cash markets, or the indices as they're called. Currently the Dow's up 50 points, NASDAQ up 116, S&P 500 up almost 11. But hold on to your hat, because the Russell 2000 is down 20 points. And for the Russell, that's 1%. Now, you know we like to see all four of the major indices the same color, because that gives us better follow through no matter what we're trading as far as the E-mini futures go. But we also know that when the Russell disagrees with the other three, sometimes the Russell leads us to the downside or to the upside. I have a slight suspicion that it just might lead us to the downside today. It's not a forecast, just an observation. In the commodity basket, crude oil is up $1.46, trading 83 bucks last. That's a gain of 1 3/4%. Gold is down $1.50, trading 23.3810 last. Silver is basically unchanged on the session, trading 29.56 half. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei posted a gain of 47 points. Shanghai rose 27 points. The Hang Seng gained 2 points. Be quiet, pretty thin. And in the European markets at the close, the FTSE rose 2.5 points. The DAX gained 55. The CAC rose 81, which for the CAC is a little over 1%. So, we had a green day in Asia. It was a green day for the UK. But at the moment, it's a mixed Radio Monday here in the US of A. 3 of the major indices in the green, but just barely. The Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P, Russell 2000, and now down almost 21 points, a little over 1%. In the news today, U.S. stocks wavered this morning to start the quarter as investors begin counting down to the July 4 break and the key U.S. jobs report. Now, U.S. markets typically rally into a holiday, and the first day of a month and the first day of a quarter tends to be bullish with U.S. stocks. So maybe I'm wrong with that whole Russell thing. We won't know until the bell rings this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, next. A crucial week of labor market data will greet investors during a holiday-shortened trading week that begins the month of July, the third quarter and second half of 2024. So it's the first day of the month, first day of the quarter, first day of the second half of the year. With stocks sitting near record highs and recent inflation trends proving more positive, all eyes have turned to the labor market for signs of weakness as the Fed maintains its restrictive interest rate stance. The June jobs report will provide a robust look at the labor market on Friday, while updates on private payrolls and job openings will also be in focus throughout the week. Updates on activity in the manufacturing and service sectors will also be scattered throughout the schedule. Constellation Brands, STZ, is expected to be the focus of the lone notable corporate earnings report during an otherwise quiet week before big banks officially kick off second quarter earnings season the following week. Markets in the U.S. will close early on July 3rd. Oh, I didn't know that. 1 p.m. Eastern. And will remain closed on July 4th for Independence Day. But I'm sure Thursday night the Globex market will open as normal. Because remember, these other countries, they don't celebrate the 4th of July. Certainly not in the UK, right? Okay. Next, Amazon built a $2 trillion company through years of aggressive spending on its retail and logistics business. Its future gains will likely be determined by the billions designated to fund its artificial intelligence push. Amazon is planning to spend more than $100 billion, that's B as in billion, over the next decade on data centers, an impressive level of investment even for a company known for its spending ways. The Seattle company is now devoting more investment money to its cloud computing and AI infrastructure than to its sprawling network of e-commerce warehouses. Next, Tesla is expected to report another quarter of weaker sales, and it's running out of alibis. Analysts are estimating the car maker will report on Tuesday, tomorrow, that it handed over 441,019 electric vehicles in the second quarter, a 5.4% drop from a year ago. This would be a second consecutive quarterly decline, which Tesla last posted when it was phasing out its first model, the Roadster, in 2012. Tesla has turned the page on several of the issues that contributed to its struggles early this year, including a suspected arson attack at its factory near Berlin and shipping diversions related to conflict in the Red Sea. That leaves the company with few excuses for its sales slowdown, aside from a relatively straightforward problem. Tesla's older lineup of vehicles is having a harder time keeping up with fresher offerings from rival EV manufacturers. And let's just address the elephant in the room. People aren't too crazy about these electric cars. All this range anxiety. We just spent $8 billion to build 7 charging stations. The government did. Your tax dollars did. From cars to planes, Boeing will soon know whether its horrible 2024 is about to get much worse. Justice Department officials have decided by July 7th whether to criminally charge Boeing, which would be a devastating blow for a giant manufacturer, or reach some sort of settlement. The question is whether Boeing's actions leading up to a January door plug blowout aboard an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 will cause the DOJ to revoke legal protections it extended to Boeing in a January 2020 deferred prosecution agreement. Prosecutors told a judge in May that Boeing had violated that 3-year agreement, which allowed Boeing to avoid fraud charges, alleging that its misleading communications with regulators led to catastrophic cash crashes, 2 737 MAX planes in 2018 and 2019. BlackRock has launched a buffer exchange-traded fund that seeks to offer a 100% downside hedge to risk-shy investors looking to tap the equity markets. Now, they are the world's largest asset manager. I think they manage like 10 trillion. So-called buffer or risk-managed ETFs help maximize returns from an asset for investors and simultaneously provide downside protection over a specific period. The novel product will likely appeal to investors who are hoping to ride a rally in the stock markets as they continue to trade near record highs, but are concerned that a slowing economy and higher for longer interest rates can together hurt sentiment going forward. Buffer ETFs also typically see lower redemption requests during times of heavy market volatility versus traditional ETFs that track the stock indexes. I think I got one last article. Yep. If you use Robinhood, Robinhood said today it has resolved an issue that had caused service interruption for some users on its trading platform early in the day. Well, as most of you know, DT Pro, or Daniel's Trading, or Stone X, the new owner, some people had trouble connecting to their accounts this morning as well. This issue has been resolved. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. The company, whose platform is immensely popular with retail traders, that's from a post on X. All right, that's all the news I found fit to read. Let's get into Logic 247. Logic 247, that's our 24/7 around-the-clock E-mini alert service. Not just E-minis, but also crude and gold and silver and euros. And a Logic alert can come out anytime around the clock, 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. Futures trade around the clock, and we have traders around the globe. Now, with the Logic alerts, you get an entry, price, an initial target, often additional targets, and then a final trade to target. This is where I teach our new passport holders how to read the chart. Okay? I mean, I serve it up on a silver platter, but I use that to teach you and for you to teach yourself how to read the chart. Okay? Now, Valerie did this recap this morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. We opened for business, of course, last night at 6 p.m. Eastern, as we do every Sunday night. That's when the Globex market opens. Last night, we issued a total of 12 alerts. At the time of the recap, we were still waiting on the outcome of 7. We had 5 actionable alerts, and so far nothing stopped out. I have issued additional alerts this morning. And of course, Valerie will update the recap later this afternoon and probably again this evening. So, week off to a fair start. Oh, we're in week 309. Over the last 309 weeks, we've issued over 17,040 individual handcrafted alerts. Over 17,040. What we've averaged on a weekly basis is 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on market structure and a very simple process I teach all of our passport holders in their one-on-one mentoring sessions. And when you take the trial, you can also have a one-on-one private mentoring session. Now, 309 weeks is a very long time. But about twice that long ago, we rolled out our original alert service, the Concierge Trade Alerts. This is where you are able to prove to yourself that you've learned how to read the chart. As I said, the logic alerts can come out anytime, day or night, 2 a.m., 2 p.m. With traders around the world, their day session is our night session and vice versa. But the CTAs are different. They're posted as a static report shortly after the Globex Open. Globex opens at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I was right there. You scroll down, it was actually, yep, I got it out. Now that's Pacific time. Telegram reads the clock on your computer. So whatever time zone you're in, that's what's going to show up down here. I'm on Pacific time 8 months out of the year because Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time. 8 months of the year I'm on Pacific time. 4 months of the year I'm on Mountain Standard. Now, I try to get this report out as soon as I can after the Globex Open. It's very rare that I get it out right at the open. But I did one day last week, and I managed to do it again last night. Now, the first thing you do when this report comes out is you go to the 30-minute charts of whatever markets you actually trade. Make note of where price is at the time the report is published. It's always going to be between these two numbers. Then draw a line in the sand at the long target, a line in the sand at the short target. These will serve as great visual cues to help you stay on the right side of the street. When we go to the charts, you'll see what my line in the sand look like. You can make yours look any way you want. Now, if price gets above the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the long target. If price gets below the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the short target. The BBC is simply the green line you see on all my charts. Daily chart, 30-minute chart. Any chart I ever show you will have that green line on it. It stands for bull, bear, cross. When price crosses above the green line, we anticipate higher prices relative to whatever time frame you're looking at. Price crosses below the green line, then we're bearish and anticipate lower prices, again relative to whatever time frame you're looking at. That's pretty simple. Here's where you prove to yourself if you figured out how to read the chart with the Logic 247 alerts. Because now you get to look left to spot those additional targets or obstacles, however you want to look at them, and you learn how price behaves at a weekly trading zone. That's important because price is always trying to reach a weekly trading zone. From the moment the markets open Sunday night till they close Friday afternoon, if price is above the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to reach the weekly zone above. If price gets below the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to reach the weekly zone below. We've published the zones since December 14th of 2009, closing in on 15 years. They come out Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. And once they're published, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They do not change in any way whatsoever. Once you understand how price behaves at and around a weekly zone, the zones will become one of the most important tools in your trading toolbox. Now, when we go to my 30-minute charts in a few minutes here, you'll be seeing last week's zones. That's because the alerts that go out on Sunday night are based on the previous week's zones. But all the alerts that I issued this morning, they're based off this week's zones. So on today's broadcast, you'll see the zones from last week, but on tomorrow's broadcast, you'll see the zones from this week. Just resist the urge to make it more complicated than what I've explained. As long as you know which way the wind is blowing, it's pretty simple to reach your goal for the day. So now we'll go where we always go at this time, to the daily chart of the S&P 500 E-mini futures. Now, today's low, 55.21. So it hasn't quite touched the 62% fib extension. But this is wild. The market has found support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive trading days in a row. Man, that's about as much sideways consolidation as I've ever seen. Now, this is today's candle. Friday, we came within 3 points of the all-time historic high. 55.88 is the all-time historic high. Friday, we got up to 55.85 and then dropped. Red and falling serving as resistance. Yes, we managed to punch through it, but by the time the session ended, that's where we were. And so the close on Friday, price was resting on the black step line. It was acting as support. Today, Monday, which started last night at 6 p.m. Eastern, the black step line became resistance. So price is pinched between resistance at the black step line and support at the 62% fib extension. And this green line is the BBC, bull bear cross. Price crosses below, we're bearish and anticipate lower prices. Price crosses above, we're bullish and anticipate higher prices. Price always reverts to the mean. In our case, the mean is green. We call it the BBC. The pullback holds more often than it doesn't. See down here, when we pulled up from below, pullback held. But we dropped into support at blue and climbing. This red and blue indicator is called the CFMA1. I refer to it as red and falling, blue and climbing. One bearish, the other bullish. Often it will give you a heads up that price is about to cross through BBC. Now, when we started this consolidation thing, price was the BBC was lined up with the 24% fib retracement. But I told you if we continued to consolidate sideways, that the BBC would rise to meet price. You see, when price drops to the BBC, you usually get a nice bounce. But in a sideways market, the more we consolidate, this baby keeps rising. It was at the 24% retracement, then it was at the 50% extension. Now it's working its way up to meet price. That creates a very different environment. It creates a situation where there's a greater probability that price won't bounce off the BBC because it didn't drop to the BBC. The BBC rose to meet price, so the potential for us to trade through the BBC, and we know eventually, even though the pullback holds more often than not, we know eventually we're going to trade through it, like we did here. Okay? And like we did here. We traded through it, and then the pullback held. And so we had a leg and a retracement and a leg and a retracement. We put in a higher low and bang. Now, you may not trade the daily chart. I don't. But I go on a fact-finding mission. I want to know what the institutional traders are up to, because they're the ones that actually move price because of their account size and the incredible size they trade in. They're responsible for moving price, and they look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. Again, all because of account size. So, whether you trade futures or individual stocks, crypto, Forex, ETFs, doesn't matter. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames, from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again, never-ending cycle. But the key with this daily chart is you're literally looking over the shoulder of the deep pockets that move price. You can tell when they're buying, you can tell when they're selling, and for the last 7 days, you know that you have a market looking for direction. I thought that the debate Thursday night would get us out of this sideways consolidation. And on Friday, we did run up a little bit, but then we came right back down, close at the step line. Support Friday, resistance Monday. What happens next? Stay tuned. We'll walk you through it every step of the way. So if you'll train yourself, no matter what you trade, to just spend 2 minutes at the beginning of your trading session, before you drop to the smaller time frames to actually put on trades, if you'll just look 2 minutes at the daily chart, you'll be able to see things you can't see on your smaller time frames. Like you wouldn't know on your 30-minute chart, or certainly not on your ticker range chart, that Friday we failed to put in a new all-time historic high by 3 points, or a new high would have been 4 points. That's important information. It's a sign of weakness. Plus you got red and falling. That's bearish. So my anticipation is that price will eventually drop to the BVC, or the BVC will rise to price, and we'll trade through it. This is the shallowest fib retracement right here, the 24% fib retracement is the shallowest fib retracement. It's 14th century math. Now these extensions are the same 14th century math, but applied in a different way. This is the minimum I expect, 54.54. I think we got a pretty good shot at 53.72. And then look here, 53.05. I could be wrong. Time will tell. Okay. As I said, all alerts are created on the 30-minute chart. When price rallies up to a weekly zone, we expect resistance. When it drops to a zone, support. Rallies up to a zone, resistance. Resistance sends the market looking for support. Support sends a market looking for resistance. Resistance sends a market looking for support. Now, these are the zones that were published a week, not this morning, but last Monday at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Okay? Because the alerts that went out last night were based on last week's zones. And we have come down 1, 2 times to hit the short target. There was never any reason to look at the long target because we would have had to overcome this zone. Now, it could have gone that way. You see, here's where we open. The vertical line separates today, Monday, from Friday, Thursday, etc. So we opened last night trapped between resistance and support. So we pulled up to the BVC. The pullback held. Blue and climbing turned to red and falling, and we dropped to the zone, weak old zones, and found support. Support bounced us up to the BVC. Looked like we were going to make a run, and then we didn't. Came right back to support. Support sent us right back to resistance at the zone in the BVC, and that sent us down to short target. See, we hit it once and bounced all the way back up, and then came all the way back down and hit it again. And then we're now above the BBC. We got a high, we got a lower high, we got a lower high, and we got a lower high. I'd be very careful going along. 55.36 to 55.38 to be conservative. Or wait for price to get up here, 55.42. Make it 55.43 to 46. That would be 3 points. You only need 2 points to get your goal for the day. But no matter which way the market's flowing, it does the same thing. Leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace. And then on the way down, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace. Now, we won't know that the market has transitioned to the long side until we take out this high right here. That would be a signal that the market is truly going to attempt to go higher. I mean, we've had a nice bounce off of that target, off that support area. So we'll see what happens. On to the Dow. Here's where we opened last night. Immediately hit a weekly zone resistance, which sent us to a weekly zone support. Sent us to a weekly zone resistance, back to support, back to resistance, back to support. And then we finally overcame that and hit the long target and even spiked that zone. But you can see clearly that zone, just like on Friday, was good resistance. And that sent the market down all the way to the short target. We even spiked it a little bit. Now we're back at the BBC, but we have red and falling. And we're at a zone where the market has found resistance during this session. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. And because we've got red and falling, I just think we might find resistance there again. Would I trade this 39.525 to 39.505? I would not, because that step line could be good support. Okay, I'd wait for price to get up to 39.610 to 630. That would give you your goal for the day. Or I'd wait for price to take out this low here and 39.375, 39.375 down to 39.330. The zone is 39.325/30. Okay. On the Russell. Here's where we opened last night above the BBC. And then we retraced to the BBC and the pullback held. And that pullback sent us within like a tick of the target. We got to 2079.4. The target was 2080. Then blue and climbing turned to red and falling. We got below the BBC. We came down. We hit this zone and consolidated. Then we dropped to the next zone, and we've now bounced up to red and falling. Notice how this black step line is starting to hook to the right. See, on that big move down, you had price, step line, red and falling. If the step line crosses to the right side of red and falling, then what will most likely happen is price will retrace back to the BBC. It happens over and over, again and again, time after time. But it hasn't crossed it yet. And if this candle goes back to this zone, it's going to straighten out that step line, and then that potential trade will no longer be valid, even if see, that's a counter trend trade. As I said, in the Logic 247 channel, there's over 17,040 individual alerts. Every one is a trend trade as defined by the 30-minute chart and the BBC. In other words, if price is above the BBC, I only put out long alerts. If price is below the BBC, I only put out short alerts. Okay, we will pick up with the NQ when I come back. Michael's here. He's going to give us a recap of what happened this morning in the live training room. After that, we'll do some live trading on the TradingView platform for 30 minutes. And then I'll be back. We'll finish the recap of the alerts and wrap it up with our good word for the day. Michael, looks good.
Excellent. All right, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Monday, the first day of July, 2024. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us and you would like to take a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com. Right here, click on the purple box. When you click on that, it's going to bring you to this page. I didn't do the update. Hang on. Well, it's going to bring you to a page where you can sign in for the free trial. All we ask for on that is your name, your email, and your phone number. Once you, hang on, I'm going to go through this really quick. Once you give us your name, your email, and your phone number, then we will be able to send you all the information that you need to get into the room in the morning. Okay, all the information that you need to get into the room. And part of it is giving us your NinjaTrader ID or your TradingView login ID. If you give us those things, then we will be able to also set up your indicators for you, so you have your indicators activated at the beginning of your trial. And that's really where you want to be. You want to have those indicators activated at the beginning of your trial. Okay. Now we'll get into the spreadsheet. Today was one of those days where I should have quit when I got the goal for the day. And I got the goal for the day on the very first trade. So I should have quit at that point. But, well, as you know, we trade for the full 2 hours in the morning. So today, if I go down to here, first of all, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. There it is. Okay. Okay. There. So all that stuff I just told you, if you click on this button right here, once I refresh this page. Now, if you click on that button right there, it's going to bring you to this page where all that we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. Down here at the bottom, name, email, phone number. We want you to fill in all this stuff. All right, it's just little drop-down boxes. But down here at the bottom, this is where you put in your machine ID. If you have Ninja or your TradingView login ID, if you have TradingView, hit the register button, and then we'll give you all the information you need to get going. Now, today in the room in the morning, we got the goal. After 6 minutes and one trade, we're at the goal. Now, we rolled over to 19 contracts this morning. 19 contracts for our 19th month of the 2420 blueprint. This morning, we ended up with minus 29 ticks on the NQ, plus 56 ticks on the Russell, and minus 10 ticks on the ES. At minus 10 at the end, knocked it out of us. We ended up with just plus $10 on the morning session. Not a big banner day. Again, like I said, if I quit when I got the goal for the day, it would have been 10 times that. But anyway, it is what it is. We're up $10 one day. We're averaging $10 per day. This should, yeah, that's $10 with one contract. Okay, $10 with one contract, and that's okay. We'll work it all out as things go forward. We are now in our 7th month, so you should be up to 7 contracts. So when you got the goal for the day, if you quit when you got the goal for the day today, you would have been up $700. If you had 19 contracts on, like I did, you would have been up $1,900, like I was. And that's down here at the bottom. It actually, this kind of day right here, quitting when you get the goal for the day, makes these numbers go up. Where this dismal 10. Well, it is what it is. If you quit when you get the goal for the day, you follow the 2420 blueprint, get what you get. So with one contract today, you were up $700 when you got the goal. With 19 contracts, you're up $1,900 when you get the goal. on the year now, we had to work a total of 43.7 hours, quitting when we got the goal for the day. And with that, if you started this year with one contract, you'd be at 7 now, averaging $1,331 an hour. This is the highest number we've had in here. If you started with me last year in January with one contract, that means in January of this year with 13 contracts, and worked your way up to adding one contract per month every month, then this year, so far, you'll be averaging $6,119 per hour, $6,119 per hour. Pretty good money if you can get it. All right, let's get into the actual trades. Now, on the YM, I only had one break-even trade on the YM. There were a bunch of trades, so I'll go through the trades that were there, but I didn't. We had an issue this morning with live this morning, the FCM, Gain Capital, or Onyx, whichever one they go by. They went down this morning for about 20, 30 minutes, something like that. So I wasn't trading the YM all morning. But you can see in here, there were a whole bunch of black arrow trades. There was a green right there that would have given me a break even, a green here that would have been profitable, another green here that would have been profitable, a green here that would have been profitable overall, a green here that would have stopped me out, a green here that would have gotten it right back, green here that would have been a break even for me, a whole bunch of black arrows, a blue that would have been profitable, a blue that would have been profitable, coupled with that green right there. That would have stopped me out to the tick. Could have gotten it right back on that one or that one. Either one of those blue or green arrows. That, again, would have stopped me out to the tick. And going through here, we had one more opportunity there and there. And somewhere in here, I did take a trade. Here it was. I took my first YM trade right here, and I ended up with a break even on it. It did make a nice move down, and I could have used that move down after stopping out on the ES in the opposite direction at the same time. Let's see, during the break, I want to bring this up here so we can take a look at this as well. And during the break, we had a blue arrow here that would have given a break even, purple arrow in the no trade zone I wouldn't have taken, blue arrow here that went right into the zone, taking a little profit, blue arrow here that I wouldn't have taken, too close to the zone. And that was it for the YM, right? I got one break even trade on the YM this morning. The Russell was our big winner today. We ended up with plus, I didn't write down that last one, plus 56 ticks on the Russell. Let's go back to the beginning. It's where we got our goal for the day as well on the Russell. The very first trade was right back here. Our very first trade was right back here. And very first trade was right back here. We picked up 20 ticks on that Russell trade right there. And then the next one that we took was over here. We picked up another 20 ticks on that one. I didn't realize until after the fact that it was going right into the zone. I guess I realized before the fact, but I had already placed the trade. And I forgot I had the trade on. And then I just managed it, took 26 profit on that. That got us to plus 40. Okay, then we didn't really do anything. I kind of fudged the lesson plan today because I wanted to go over some other things. And, you know, for those of you guys who have DT Pro and Ninja Trader, what I was showing you this morning was kind of how you could see in real time what the slingshot's going to do. Anyway, I'll do that again someday. The ultimate slingshot, I mean. Now we picked up 16 ticks here on the very last trade. All right, that's where we got the plus 10. During the break, there were some black arrows there, but not a green or blue arrow. I guess it was one right here, one green arrow there that was nice and profitable. And some black arrows right through here. You can see my ribbon only has the leading edge and the trailing edge on it. That was from last week's day 2 lesson plan. And I guess I can use it again tomorrow on day 2. I had some things going in here. There were some things that I created recently. I can't show you in here, but if you come to that webinar that I do that I'm going to be doing on Wednesday, it'll be Wednesday afternoon, so it's the day before holiday. I don't know how many people are going to want to show up for that, but if you do show up for it, there's some pretty cool stuff that I'm going to show you about these pivots. And what I've done over there and how you can adjust these pivots. If like you see a pivot that's too far out and you were interested in pivots that are closer, you can make an adjustment for that. But anyway, for the ES today, we only had one trade. And it wasn't any of these blue arrows that were okay. No, it wasn't any of those. It was this one right here, and it stopped us out minus 10 ticks. Okay, that one would have stopped us out too. That was during the break. See, I didn't really look at all the other ones. There was a green arrow here that would have been profitable, a blue arrow here that would have been a stop out, a blue arrow here that would have been a nice profitable trade, a blue arrow here that would have been a stop out. So it was a lot of back and forth. Would have been a break even right there, and that would have been a stop out. The ES was just not giving it up today. Not giving it up. Oh, well, this is on the 6 range also. You got to go back to the 7 range. I was doing it on the 6 range to do some comparison stuff. But we still had to stop out here in the same place. And yeah, I think all the other arrows are about the same. Okay, so that was the ES this morning. The Russell just gave another down closer. This was also switched to a 6 range for a minute. The NQ now. We did have more trades on the NQ than anything else. We ended up with minus 29 on the NQ, but we did have a couple of nice trades on the NQ. Look at this flat market right here. You really don't want to trade when the market's like that. You really just don't want to trade. All right. Let me scroll all the way back. You see those red marks? Wilts. Market whoopie. All right, hold it. Hold it. All right, here we go. So our first trade here on the NQ was a plus 30. All right, the next trade that we had was right here. We ended up with plus 1 tick on that, goes to 31. Then I stopped out on this, but I only had a 10 tick stop. And I didn't get anything else. I stopped out on this, but again, I only had a 10 tick stop. So I went from 31 down to 21 down to 11. And then I realized I only had a 10 tick stop, and I didn't take any more trades through here because I was showing you guys something. And then the next trade that I finally did take was all the way here. And somehow I stopped out on that. That was minus 20 ticks. That put me at minus 9. And then I stopped out again right there. And that put me at minus 29. So I did not do well today on the NQ at all. I missed a bunch of really nice trades. And I got to break even on that one. I missed a bunch of really nice trades. That's all I can say. The ones that this would have been a stop out, that would have been a stop out. It was just a rough day for trading today for me. And that was it. And with that, I'm going to jump right back in and trade some more. Truly, I am. But let me turn on the let's go here to CFRN. See if I can type that in. All right, I go to YouTube, CFRN. Oops. All right, yeah, just want to jump in the live stream over here so I can see questions that come in. And all right, so now just start trading. For the folks in the live stream, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com. Click on the purple button right here. When you click on that, it's going to bring you to this registration page. On this page, all we ask for is your first name, your last name, your email, and your phone number. Down here at the bottom, you have Ninja. Give us your machine ID. If you have TradingView, give us your login ID. Hit the register button. Once you hit that register button, you will be sent everything that you need to get into the room in the morning and to apply the indicators. All right, put the indicators on your charts, and that's really what you want to be doing. Okay, that is really what you want to be doing. Now, let's see. We had a green arrow here that put in just 1 tick lower, so it's pulled back too deep to give another trade. This is pulling back too deep to give another trade. That was a blue and purple arrow there. Put in a lower swing. The ES you can see is in a no trade zone. And there is a chance for a trade here on the NQ. There it is, a green arrow short there on the NQ. Now the NQ was trading really, really thin earlier today. It's better now, but it was trading really, really thin earlier today. I'm gonna lock in 1 point on this. And I'm out with just 1 point. And now we want this to put in a lower swing. It's got to actually put in a lower swing. It's going to actually put in a lower swing to give us another trade in that direction. All right. We don't have anything here. 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 We just don't have any trades here. We're in no trade zones across all the markets here. Let's see if there's anything else going on. Let's look out here at Mr. No, let's look at it. Yeah, let's look at Mr. This is Bitcoin. But let's look at Mr. and see what that's doing. All right, from a daily perspective, it's got a lot of sideways action right there. If we break that down, break it down into something much smaller, like every bar is a buck. That's still gonna be too small. I think that's too small. How about this? Nothing. We are not going to have anything there. But we haven't looked at it in a while. I guess Ray hasn't been around in a little while. So looking at his XOM every morning on the 15 range. Let's see, every day does it. It usually is a signal every morning. Let's put on the. Let's shut this off for a second, and we'll put on the TV trades on that. See, just the base TV trades long on a 15 range. Let's put the mid-trend trades on, I guess. Put the shorts on too. Okay. And today, July 1st, it did get one right here. Well, it gave one Friday right there. It didn't give another one since Friday. It gave the one long right there. And that was it. And let's get that in a while. How did it do Friday morning? Okay, the 27th of July. Was that Friday morning? July. Oh, that was Thursday. So the 28th of July at 9:30. Yeah. Okay, it gave its long signal right there. Now it's usually good for a buck when it gives a signal. So it was 116 up to 116.50 to make the whole buck. The day before though. Here. Is that right there? Yeah, right here. It was good for half a buck again. Not as much follow through. Anyway, that's XLM. Anybody have any symbols they want me to go look at? I'm just asking because all of these are in a no trade zone. Still, all in no trade zone. It is 1:10, so we have 20 minutes left. Go look at a lot of symbols in 20 minutes. Okay, we have a funky slingshot on a 4-range Russell. Interesting stuff coming your way over time. Every winning trade. Interesting. Go back here. Still in the no trade zones. Still in the no trade zones. Any questions? Anybody? Fortick on the ES. Let's go look at that. Let us go and look at that. Let's go out here. Make this an ES. Yes, and let's just get rid of that for now. And this is what it looked like this morning, the Forex range on the ES with just your base TV trades. I don't even know if I have the bias on that, do I? I don't. Okay, if I put the bias on, I'll put the shorts on. Oh, for live trading right now. I thought you meant for this. Okay, well, this is giving the long signal right now. But we'll go back here for live trading right now. The S is in no trade zone. They were all in no trade zones. So, oh, sorry. That's right. You said 4 range, not 7 range. That's right. Okay, so when you put it in a 4 range like that, when you jump between ranges like that, no, you weren't. Wait. No, well, the thing is you got to change the sensitivity when you change to a smaller time frame. So we don't know yet. I got to change the sensitivity on both of those in a smaller time frame. Because I have 2 of them running right now for some reason. Okay, there. Their own digital currency exchange, not their own digital currency, their own digital currency exchange. Interesting. Well, this is what it looks like on the 4 range. Now the 4 range, guys, remember your stop is only 8 ticks on a 4 range. It's not the same 10 tick stop, but it did give a lot more opportunity today on the 4 range than it did on the 7 range. See, there's some pretty nice trades through here in this green and this blue arrow right here at 10:30. Green arrow here didn't really go anywhere. A lot of black arrows right there leading up to it. But I go the other way. So we're going into price like this. Green arrow there. There's one there that didn't work out. Well, you're in no trade zone all through here. Blue arrow there. This still would have stopped out right here, where I ended up stopping out that one time. But the blue arrow here would have worked out. Blue arrow here would not have. Blue arrow here would have. And just recently gave them the blue arrow right here. Still really flat. It was pretty good right at the beginning. The markets were pretty good right at the beginning, but then they just kind of went sideways on us. And it happens. It does happen from time to time. So today I didn't have a banner day. I like to start the months out really well. And we did start the month out really well, just getting the goal. We got the goal right away, which was good. It was a fine start to the month. It is indeed all of those things. Well, we started out that way, right? Didn't we? If I look at this on the bigger picture stuff, we do now. Let me go here. This is the ES7 range. Where's my ES30 minute? Here it is right now. Okay, so right here, it's actually a doji candle that's showing right now, but that's on a 30-minute. If you go to the daily, it is a red candle, but at one point it was not a red candle. At one point it was a blue candle, and it was up here right at the beginning of the day. And so who knows? I mean, this is not this week's weekly trading zone, but it's last week's zone. We're at last week's zone right here, and there's a chance we could bounce off of that and end up with a blue day. Yes, we have. I didn't know. I didn't know they closed on July 3rd at 1 o'clock. I didn't know that either. Wow, so they're closed all day on the 4th. Huh. Huh. Yeah, I mean, all morning session. Normally they'd run it till 1. Yes. Yep. Right. A look. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, they're gonna act consistently. That's yes. Yes, it's a fine day. Fine day to take the day off. I didn't realize they closed down early on Wednesday because I have a webinar coming up on Wednesday at 3. I was thinking about that when I scheduled it. Oh, I guess I could reschedule it for tomorrow at 3, but I'll just leave it. We'll see how things go. Oh, that's right. Garrett. Garrett. That is his name. No, nothing. Yes. All right, so all the markets are going sideways here. We have 12 minutes left of sideways action. I just don't see it. If we jump out here and look at the TV trades again, even that when it gave its long signal back here, followed by a long signal there, both of those worked out a little bit. This one worked out a little bit. This one's just trying to work out right now. But when you get a signal, it should put in a higher swing. All right, it should put in a higher swing. Like these over here, higher swing, a little bit higher swing, a little bit higher swing, and then this one here gave a higher swing. This one did not. This one has not yet. None of them stopped out, which is good. But it's just rough trading out there today. All right. Anybody want to see any other symbols? Anybody want to look at NVIDIA? Let's look at on this one. NVD. There it is. Oops, that's the wrong market. NVDIA. NVDA. There it is. No, 15 range is not going to work for me. Well, it might actually now that it's down to $120. We'll go to a 25 range, so. We'll go to a 25 range. Dink. 25. There it is. So it gives a pretty good indication of the shorting opportunities. And if you're just going with longs because it's an equity, get rid of all the shorts. The blue ones are the ones that catch it earlier on in the trend. Right? The green ones are the mid-trend trades, but the blue ones are the ones that catch it earlier on in the trend. And you can see it did give some pretty good blue arrows today. Not all of them worked out well, but most of them did. Depending on how far you wanted to go or how many shares you had. I guess if we put it on like a 30-minute, see how it captured the day. All right, it didn't give any signal today on a 30-minute. Let's look at the 5-minute. And the 5 minute gave a couple of longs, and that was it. So if you're looking at a 5 minute with some options, then probably could have made a little money there. Let's go back over here to our futures charts and see what's happening. Still nothing. Closest thing we have to a trade is right here on the Russell. Right there on the Russell. I don't see any questions coming in. Let me go out here and look at YouTube really quick. No questions coming in for YouTube. I see there's people watching, but no questions that I can see. All right. Totally flat outer bands. Just don't want to take those totally flat outer bands. And the news that came out today, all bad. Yeah, let me refresh my calendar. And here it was. For us, the global manufacturing PMI final came out a little lower than expected, but we had some big misses in here. Big misses. This one, ISM manufacturing new orders, it's a low impact, but the high impact one was right here. That was a pretty big miss. This was a pretty big miss. This was the biggest miss, and this is low impact. Worst expected result for the US currency. So tomorrow we have high impact again. Tomorrow, right here, Jules job openings coming out at 10. We have Fed Powell speech at 9:30 at the open tomorrow. We have Powell speaking and ECB President Lagarde speaking at the same time. So that should make for an interesting open tomorrow. And Jules job openings coming up at 10. And this coming out at 10:10, that's an odd time for that to come out. That doesn't usually come out at 10:10. And then Wednesday, all our normal stuff, right? You have the ADP employment change. Now it's the first week of the month, and usually the first week of the month is when all the major news events come out. But because we have Thursday off this week, it looks like, did they reschedule everything or did they not? No, they're still giving the jobless claims there and the ISM services PMI there. So Thursday's still got some high impact. Is that Thursday or Wednesday? That's Wednesday. Okay, so Thursday, Thursday we don't have anything. And then Friday we have all this high impact stuff, the unemployment rate, the non-farm payrolls, and the average hourly earnings. So Thursday we have nothing. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday we have a lot. So it'll be an interesting week as far as the news goes. We just about have a trade. There's the trade that I was talking about on the Russell, and we just about have a trade over here on the NQ as well. All right, I did get that spreadsheet fixed during the break. Remember I said I was gonna shut everything down and try to fix that spreadsheet up. Just about have a trade here on the NQ. Not quite there yet, but we did get the green arrow long right here on the Russell, and here it is. Okay, that stops going to break even. Going +1 tick, +2, +5. And it should get up to right there. 50-30 is what it should get up to. That'd be 12 ticks. Should actually do one more. That'd be 13 ticks. Now, that's what the DOM is saying. The chart is saying right here is a swing high at 50.2. I'm saying it should go through that 50.2. And with all the stuff that I went over yesterday, not yesterday, but last week, and that I've been going over, as far as the slingshot from the top goes, remember the green pen? I mean the green goes like this and like this to get back to here. And then you have this much leg right here that it should extend on this side to get you to there, right? That's what it should do. Where is there? There is right about here. 51 point something up there. Yeah. back to here and we hit cancel on that. But this is 51.4. Now that's just an estimate based on this to this right there. And then if we take that and do it again from there to there, that's 51.8. 51.8 is what this should get up to. Okay. 51.8. I'm going to call that the diamond principle. Remember that square principle stuff, Dwayne? Years ago. Attract people from all over to the Mirage Casino. And I have now created the diamond principle. Now we don't have a diamond shape in here. I wish we had somewhere in here. I know we have a square shape, right? Don't we? Use a rectangle. That'll work. Okay. Now, can I rotate this rectangle? I don't think I can I? Pin 9, setting this now. I don't think I can. All right, well, it's not, I'm not going to be able to show you what I'm trying to show you. But what I mean to do is years ago, there was this fella that had this thing called the square principle. And if you think about the square, let me see if I can create something that would sort of be what I'm trying to do. I don't think I'm going to be able to though. No, because I don't need this. All right. Well, a square, a diamond is nothing but a square turned on its end, right? It's stretched out just a little bit. If you have a square like this, you have a square like this, and if all four sides of the square are equal, we'll say, well, that is a square, actually, for all four sides are equal. And you turn it, and then you have a square like this, right? But that looks like a diamond, right? Kind of, if I did it right. So be the diamond principle. Kind of like the square principle turned on its side, where the minimum that you expect is price to get to there. And then what you really expect is for price to double that and get it to there, which is what it just did here, or what it should do here. By the time it's done, it should get up to here, to 51.8. That's what that should get up to. Now, it hasn't done it yet, but that's what I'm looking for. You guys see what I mean? All right, well, hopefully you do. If you do, it'll probably benefit you in the long run. This did do everything that it should have done. It got up to the prior swing high, and it kept going, and it should keep going up to here. I don't know if it's going to do it all at once, but it might. All right, let me go back over here for a second and see in here. All right, there are no questions in there. And what in the heck is that that's shown on there right now? It's just some NQ trade I did not take that just showed on YouTube. Interesting. Anyway, that is weird. Well, I'm going to wrap it up and say, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com, click on the purple button right here. That purple button is going to bring you to this registration page. On this page, all we ask for is your name, email, phone number. And down here at the bottom, gives you an InTrader machine ID or your TradingView login ID. All right. If you have those, give us those, and we'll be able to set your indicators up on your desktop. Get your indicators indicating at the beginning of your trial. That's where you want to be. All right. All right. And with that, I'll pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona in Studio A, overlooking South Mile, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready. Okay. Dwayne does not seem to be ready. All right. I really got to go somewhere. So hopefully Dwayne is going to get back here any minute now. And okay, I guess that's just a huge delay. All right. Well, guys, I don't know where Dwayne is right now. I'm guessing we got an email from Garrett, so we might be on the phone with Garrett right now. But I have to be somewhere at 2 o'clock, so I'll stick it out with guys for a few more minutes. But then I'm going to have to go. All right. It's pulling back down here to test the ribbon. It has not hit the ribbon yet. Yes, I did. I got to go. That's all right. All right. The morning session today, Dwayne, it took 6 minutes and 1 trade to get to $1,900. It sure was. And the month, and the quarter, and the year. Half year. I figured that's what you were doing. I saw the email came through, and I figured that's what you were doing. That's okay. I got to run. I got to be somewhere too. All right. See you guys.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.